We live in a world that worships perfection, and people have always desired to achieve perfection in every aspect of their lives. And somewhere along the way, many of us quietly reach the same conclusion. If I am not perfect, I am not enough. We hide our failures. We feel uncomfortable when the weaknesses appear. We feel ashamed of the parts of ourselves that don't fit the image we think we're supposed to be. But what if that belief is wrong? What if the very things you're trying to hide, your mistakes, your pain, your loss, are not signs of failure, but signs of depth? The story today is simple but powerful. Listen closely, because by the end of this story, you may begin to see your own imperfections differently. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled beside a slow-moving river, there lived a man called Elias. He is an apprentice of an old master potter. Elias was disciplined, intelligent, and deeply ambitious. He believed mastery came from control, from eliminating mistakes, from achieving flawlessness. When a small error appears, Elias grew tense. When clay collapsed on the wheel, he felt embarrassed. He watched the master closely, convinced that true greatness lay in doing everything right. Yet no matter how hard he worked, something was missing. His bowls were smooth, his cups were balanced, but the feeling they bring totally different from his master's pottery. Customers would admire them politely, then reach for the master's work instead. This frustrated Elias more than he admitted. One morning, just as the sun lifted above the river, the master gave Elias a task.
Today, I want you to choose clays for the next vessels on your own.
As the first time he'd do it himself, Elias felt a surge of excitement and fear. The master continued,
Go to the river bank. Choose your clay wisely.
Elias bowed respectfully and follows his master's words to go to the river bank. At the river, he examined the clay carefully. He rejected anything too soft or anything too rough.
This part is too rough.
Anything with stones.
Not this one.
Anything that showed cracks from drying.
It's too dry.
After hours of searching, he finally found it. Smooth, clean, perfect clay. This, Elias thought, is how great work begins. As Elias on his way home, his foot brushed against another lump nearby. This clay was different. Dry lines ran through it. Its surface was uneven. Without hesitation, he turned away. Elias thought, that clay is ruined. No vessel could be created from it. But when he returned to the workshop, the master noticed something immediately.
You chose well. And what about the cracked clay by the river?
Elias hesitated, eyes lowering as he considers the question.
Master, that clay is damaged. It would break.
He replied. The master smiled not with amusement, but with quiet curiosity.
Bring it tomorrow.
The master then requested. The next day, both clays sat beside the wheel. Elias expected the master to begin with the perfect one. Instead, the master placed the cracked clay onto the wheel. Elias felt uneasy. As the wheel began to spin, the master's hands moved slowly, attentively. He did not rush. He did not force the clay into shape. When the cracks appeared under pressure, the master stopped. He studied them. He traced them gently with his fingers. Elias waited for him to fix the flaws, but the master didn't. Instead, he adjusted the design. Where the clay was weak, he curved it inward. Where it resisted, he gave it space. At one point, a loud crack echoed through the workshop.
Master, it's breaking.
The master raised his hand calmly to stop Elias's worry. He said,
No, it's speaking.
He loosened his grip, changed his angle, allowed the clay to move as it needed. Slowly, the vessel took form. Not symmetrical, not smooth, but balanced. Hours passed. Elias noticed something strange. The master spent more time observing than shaping. Finally, Elias asked,
Why don't you remove the cracks?
The master answered softly,
If I pretend they don't exist, the vessel will collapse later. If I fight them, it will break now. But if I understand them,
he continued.
they tell me where strength must be built.
When the wheel stopped, Elias stood silent. The vessel was unlike anything he had seen. The cracks had become natural lines flowing upward. The uneven texture caught the light beautifully. The imperfections gave it character, movement, depth. Though it was not perfect, it was unforgettable. Elias felt his chest tighten.
This vessel feels alive,
He whispered. The master nodded.
Because it's honest.
The master turned to Elias.
People think perfection is strength, but perfection is fragile. A flawless surface hides nothing, but it also teaches nothing. Pain can be your weakness. Failure can also be. Loss can be your imperfection. If you hide them, you become brittle. If you understand them, you become resilient.
Elias looked at his hand, scarred from weeks of work. For the first time, he didn't feel ashamed. Years passed. Elias stayed in the village. He failed. He learned. He broke countless vessels and remade them. Slowly, his work changed. It became warmer, more expressive, more spirited. And finally, Elias became a master potter. One day, his son came to him and asked,
Father, this clay is ruined. Should I throw it away?
No. This clay will make its own great journey, my dear.
In our lives, we chase perfection and feel discouraged by our flaws. But your heartbreak gave you empathy. Your failure taught you resilience. Your mistakes made you real. Stop hiding your cracks. They are not weaknesses. They are evidence that you tried, that you felt, that you lived. A perfect vessel made without understanding is ordinary, but a flawed vessel shaped with wisdom becomes art. Remember, you are not broken. You are growing up. So ask yourself today, what part of you are you ready to stop hiding and finally transform into strength? Before you leave, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you don't need to be perfect to be worthy. If this message helped you see yourself differently, subscribe for more powerful stories that help you grow, heal, and see beauty in places you once called broken.